to welcome you all to the 5th Annual Caribbean Junior Culinary Conference. I would like to extend a very, very special welcome and a special thank you to Dr. Springer, the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education. You don't know how honored I am to have you, that you're here. Because I always like what's happening here for people of your standard to see what's happening with these young people across the Caribbean. And, you know, I hope you share my feeling that young people are not as bad as they're saying, but we have some really, really talented people, which you're going to see as this week unfolds. I'd also like to welcome Heather Phillips-Boyce. Thanks very, very much. Heather is a homer here, I'm going to call her, because she's been with this program from the very beginning, from the very first show Heather was with this program. That's 13 years ago. So that's a long, long time, Heather. Yeah. I'd also like to welcome James Paul. He has been a supporter of this event. And I should tell you here, the very first competition we did was a senior competition, was at the very first AgroFest, and it was done in Queen's Park, thanks to James Paul. That was the very first one, and that was the start of all these things that happened. So I thank him tremendously for that opportunity and, you know, the opening so that you all can be doing this now 13 years later. Thank you very much. Another very important person, Mr. I almost call you Mrs. Mr. Eastman from the TVET Council. Now, this is a very important person for all of you because this is part of the direction where we're going with this program. Certification and accreditation, something he is passionate about, and I am passionate about it as well. So we have a full-fledged school here now, and it is the accreditation comes from the TVET Council, and it happened due to a lot of work being done by Mr. Eastman and his staff at the TVET Council. So I'd like to thank you for that as well. So he's a big part of the growth of this event and all that we offer here at this point. And Mr. Anderson Lowe, he was part of the program. We just trained here at this school about 120 people, and they've all received the CVQ, and the CVQ in food preparation and cooking, culinary arts. So I'm very, very proud of that as well. That was a collaboration, TVEC and the Competency-Based Training Fund. Anderson Lowe was behind that. Welcome to you as well. I'm glad to see you here. I'm very, very glad to see you. And of course, next to him is Dennis Maynard from Roberts Manufacturing. Now, he too, Roberts has been a part of this program from its inception. And Dennis has never left us. Although with the change of Roberts as the years went by, Roberts did some changing as far as sponsorship the program is concerned. I have to say Dennis has never left this program, so he's passionate about it as well. These are all people that are really passionate about what we do here and understand what we are after, what we are doing as far as the development of young people in the culinary industry is concerned. So let me thank you very, very, very much. And of course, from the Barbados Tourism Product Authority, right? I always get that wrong, but welcome to you as well for being here. So you're always here to help us as well with what we're doing. It has been a really struggle this year, but we are here nonetheless, and we are happy to be here. So we're not going to talk about the difficulties nor challenges. We're going to talk about the joy that we get for the entire week. It's going to be a tough week. It is always tough. It's intense. It's passionate. It's exciting. But most of all, it's fun. And I'm one of the people, I went to, I think, the best school in the world, St. Leonard's School. And I learned at St. Leonard's School that learning must be fun, or it wouldn't happen. And from a school where that was considered a bunch of failures because you went to St. Leonard's, well, I'm an old guy, so at that point, when you fail the exam, it's not like now, you went to St. Leonard's or those what were considered lower secondary schools. But you know what? I had some fun, and I learned because we were having fun. And that is what I brought from there into what I do now. What I do, although this is intense, and it's a lot you're going to be learning in this week because there are conferences and workshops from international chefs that you are going to be a part of. But you know what? It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very challenging, but most of all, it's going to be fun. And that's the key thing I want you to understand. You're going to realize by the end of it, we have so much fun learning. Now, I'm not going to be here long because we have some people who can speak much better than I can, and we look forward to hearing from them. But there's one thing, and I want this to be the theme for us this season, Because what I'm asking you right now is just to find your inspiration and stick with it. That's why I can be here today for the 13th year and for the 5th year of this Caribbean Junior Culinary Conference. Inspiration. Here's hoping that with this conference, somebody can at least find inspiration to do what they have in mind and to go through all the tough times and all the hard times and be inspired to achieve exactly what you're looking for. That is my wish for you. Thank you very much.
Turn up the taste. This is a meal prepared with Robert's garlic spread. A zesty spread made with real garlic and parsley with 0 trans fat. Robert's garlic spread. Turn up the taste.
DC Media, the home of culinary excellence. We bring you the best in culinary education, information, and entertainment. Just tune in to a range of programs such as Caribbean Cuisine, all you need to know about what is happening with what we grow and produce in our region. In need of excitement? Join us in the culinary arena for the Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge. Here, the best of our junior culinary minds meet in exciting kitchen duels to determine which island will reign supreme as the Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge champion. In need of some culinary education? Then, be a part of our annual Caribbean Culinary Conference, where top educators from across the world share their knowledge and expertise with our culinarians. Just want a relaxing moment? Then join Chef Edie in his kitchen for a casual meal or an easy-to-digest experience. DC Media, the place for your culinary satisfaction.
Parliamentary Secretary, Ms. Dr. Springer, and other officials of the ministry, Mr. Paul from the BAS, Mr. Lowe from the ComC-based Training Fund, staff of Barbados Tourism, Inc., participants, trainers, judges, ladies and gentlemen. This Caribbean cuisine has been over the last, shall I say, 4 or 5 years, a strategic partner in technical vocational education. The energy to push the culinary skills in this country to a higher level, it centers right here. We were involved, I think, about 3 competitions before. I've been here with them, and I'll be passing through. We have been having discussions with, I know that we've had some partnerships through the CBTF, what he talked about, level 2 food preparation and cookery. And over the last 2 years, we have been discussing how we can push the skills in this country to a higher level. And I was here yesterday. I only called him Friday. He said, got the conference next week. I said, okay, come Monday. And I turned up Monday yesterday about 12 o'clock. And we have some standards that we want to implement. We have some level 3 standards, notably commis chef, banquet chef, because I keep seeing in the papers that advertising for commis chef. So we have standards to implement, chef de partie, and we are going to also to develop, we want to implement these standards from January. So people who have done the level 2 qualifications can come back and go to level 3. and level 3 in the CVQ system is pre-degree and level 4 degree level. And we discussed that we are going to develop a level 4, because really what we at the TVET Council, what we are designing is a competency-based bachelor's in technological education and training. Competency-based. So we're not going for all the lot of fancy words like the academic. Competency-based. You'll be getting your dual certification. You'll be getting a certificate, your CVQ in every course. And once you follow a program of studies, you will get your bachelor's. But you'll be able to work and move on and accumulate your certificates. And we are hoping that we can produce a product that can train at a higher level than we currently have here generally, and that can also work in the industry at the same time. So it is a powerful product. Imagine you can teach people, you're trained to teach people, you have all the pedagogical skills, and you're able to work, because that is what we need if we want to raise the level of training in this country. And the TVET Council is going to be relentless over the next couple of years. And this is only one of our partners in the culinary and the housekeeping and the tourism operations and that sort of thing. We have a partnership with Ocean 2 Hotel. So, and when I left here yesterday, we went down there. So as far as food and drink and food preparation and cookery and hotel, we have that sector covered to push right up to level 4. And we're going to make sure that you are able to continue your education right up to the degree level. I know that everybody might not want to do the pedagogical part. Everybody don't want to be a teacher. But you can come and do the technical part and go right up to level 4. And Caribbean Cuisine is our main strategic partner at implementing. I therefore wish you well in your conference. And I know that the competition is usually tough. We are hoping to get you on board with the World Skills, because we are part of World Skills International. We run a national competition in World Skills. We took people to Abu Dhabi, and we're looking to take people to Russia this next year. I think it is next year. So we want to step the game up, and I want to let you know that the lesson that we learned when we went to Abu Dhabi is most of the countries that did well came to the World Skills competition with a level 3 certification. While most of our people are at level 2, they practice. They came from institutions where they were trained at level 3, and then they had several regional competition experience, while we were level 2 people trying to fill gaps and trying to get experience. So if you want to be on the world stage and you want the best, you have to do what you have to do. And I'm glad that we have our junior minister here, because he gets some insights on where we would like support for our technical programs, just like the academic programs at KFL. Because I find that, and seriously, because I think that part of the decline of this country is the lack of skills of the workforce. We may talk all about culinary. What you do in culinary is linked also to what you do in agriculture. What is happening to our local foods, and how do you use your local foods to prepare for the hotels? When you go to Jamaica, you got the international stalls when you get breakfast on mornings, and then you have your local stalls. You can go and get your local foods for breakfast. What are we doing? Are we only presenting the international things? We hear that our black belly sheep, the meat is the best in the world, right? We hear that the leather is the finest in the world to make products. What are we doing with those? And I think that once we get back to basics and we look at agriculture, look at the technology, right? Train our people to use the local foods and be innovative and creative with the local foods, that we can shave a lot of money on our import bill. So I don't want to talk too long, but so I'm going to stop here and leave room to. All I want to do is to, on behalf of the TVET Council, wish you well in the next couple of days, and we look forward to the results. I thank you.
Turn up the taste. This is a meal prepared with Robert's garlic spread. A zesty spread made with real garlic and parsley with 0 trans fat. Robert's garlic spread. Turn up the taste.
DC Media, the home of culinary excellence. We bring you the best in culinary education, information, and entertainment. Just tune in to a range of programs such as Caribbean Cuisine, all you need to know about what is happening with what we grow and produce in our region. In need of excitement? Join us in the culinary arena for the Caribbean Junior Culinary Challenge. Here, the best of our junior culinary minds meet in exciting kitchen duels to determine which island will reign supreme as the Caribbean Junior Culinary Challenge champion. In need of some culinary education? Then, be a part of our annual Caribbean Culinary Conference, where top educators from across the world share their knowledge and expertise with our culinarians. Just want a relaxing moment? Then join Chef Edie in his kitchen for a casual meal or an easy-to-digest experience. DC Media, the place for your culinary satisfaction. Thank you, Mr. Eastman. And you might ask why we asked Mr. Eastman to say a few words. It's all about being inspired, right? Be inspired. That's my theme this year, be inspired. And he is passionate about accreditation, certification. And the reason he's here and he's being drag is a very, very bad word. He didn't have to force me. Anyway, he came along. It's because the aim here, our next step, is to giving you guys who compete in this competition accreditation at the end of it. So we want to, at the end of it, say, well, you have certified certain levels of the competencies, so you can now have a certificate at the end of the program. And that's the next step. Ever-changing times, we have to change. It can no longer be for just coming here and representing your country and going back and saying, yes, we won. Now we want you to be going back with your accreditation, saying, well, yes, I've been there, and it's been a big educational experience because now we have certification from that program to show it. And that's what we're working on with Mr. Eastman in TVET Council as well. That's the next step for you. See, it's all about your development. So that's where we're going. Be inspired. Please be inspired. Now, it's my honor to invite to speak to you. And you know what? He's very young, and I like that because this is a group of young people. It's a group of young people, and he's a young man doing great things in Barbados. He is the junior minister in the Ministry of Education. That is no small task to take on. Dr. Rommel Springer to talk to you for a couple of minutes. Welcome, Mr. Springer.
Chef Peter Edie, executive producer of the Caribbean Junior Culinary Conference. Henderson Eastman, director of the TVET Council. Mr. James Paul, CEO of Barbados Agricultural Society. Mr. Anderson Lowe, manager of the Competency-Based Training Fund. Head of Phillips Boyce, education officer in the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, delegates from Cayman Islands, Dominica, Grenada, St. Croix, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Before I start, I just want to say that I met Mr. Edie for the first time a few weeks ago at, it was a graduation event that I attended, and he seemed happy to see me, but I was fascinated to meet him for the first time. Having watched his show for many years, I watched the Dueling Chef show on television and was always fascinated by what I saw. And in a former life, I was also a teacher at one of those lower, or what we refer to as newer secondary schools in Barbados, where in many cases students struggle with the academics. But one of the areas that we excelled in at that school was the culinary arts. And I know that many of those students who excelled, they excelled because they were inspired by Mr. Edie and what they would have seen on his show in those years. Because the culinary arts were, when I was a young person, they were, well, obviously they were in the hotels and the restaurants, but we did not see them. It was Mr. Edie who brought them home to us, who brought them into our homes, where we could see persons operating at this level right there on the television. And I think that inspired a lot of students who would have otherwise gone through school, struggle, maybe come out and struggle in life. They gave them an avenue where they could excel. And I think many of these students who would have gone through our what we call at the time our home ec program are now well on their way to what I believe are successful careers because of what Mr. Edie would have done for them, because of the inspiration that they would have gotten from Mr. Edie. So I just want to give him a round of applause for the good work that he has done. And he's been an inspiration to me too as well. I just want to say that. All right, I was fascinated to meet you. I felt as though I was meeting a celebrity. Yes, he is a celebrity. He is a local celebrity, maybe a regional celebrity, but he's definitely a celebrity around here. All right, and so let me start saying, having watched and enjoyed many episodes of the Junior Dueling Challenge, I've always been impressed by the creativity, the competitive spirit, and the competitors in that show, in that event. The privilege is mine, therefore, to give the opening remarks for the 5th Caribbean Junior Culinary Conference. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, I would like to welcome you, the delegates, to Barbados, and I am confident that the Barbadian delegation will make you feel right at home. I also hope that you get the opportunity to see our beautiful island. This conference is important to discuss current issues and to be exposed to the latest studies in your field. Whereas some people may argue that technology has made it easier to collaborate with colleagues from anywhere in the world, with the access you have now these days to podcasts and blogs, YouTube videos, and webinars, you have these things at your fingertips. But I still believe that a conference such as this is of great value and relevance. This conference, to my mind, gives you an opportunity to network. Not only do you acquire knowledge, but you network with persons who are in a similar field. Now, no Skype, no tweak, no email can rival a face-to-face encounter. An email is fine, mind you, it's great. A phone call is even better. But a handshake, that is ideal. A handshake is something that you tend to remember. I therefore encourage you to show engagement by asking questions. Remember, you're not only representing yourselves, you're representing your country. And you would want to leave a lasting impression. This is the time to collaborate with persons who share the same interests as you. I encourage you to acquire information and resources which can assist you in honing and developing your skills. So far, I should tell you that you're already done better than me because I can't cook. So good. So good. Right? But as I said before, it's very important that you network. Take this opportunity to grasp as much as you can. Take notes, ask questions of the presenters, and because this is the way that you gain knowledge, by through feedback. And this knowledge you can later share when you return to your home countries or you return to your schools. Additionally, take the opportunity to make new friends and have fun. I've always been a promoter of fun. Learning is wonderful, but fun. But you must have fun learning. I've always promoted that. You know, it's more rewarding than anything that you will do online or in cyberspace. Having fun and interacting with your peers. You can never, ever undervalue the importance of that. The information acquired at this conference should, if possible, transfer into the culinary competition that will follow. This is the 10th Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge, and it should be treated as a momentous occasion by the organizers. Chef Edie, who many can see is passionate about culinary arts and promoting local dishes to international standards, conceptualized this local competition back in 2005, and he should be commended for his efforts of hard work and commitment and diligence. The Junior Dueling Challenge has now morphed into the Caribbean Junior Challenge. For this event, I implore you to impress the presenters and the judges. Translate the knowledge gained from this conference into practical skills, coupled with good attitude and camaraderie. Under the challenge of cooking competitions, teams must work together to produce excellent results in a specific time. In order to acquire bragging rights, your dishes must be creative and innovative, and using local ingredients to create international dishes. Your coaches will encourage you to use herbs and spices to create Caribbean flavors, and your dishes should have good balance in taste, color, texture, aroma, and attractive eye appeal. I encourage you to show confidence in the preparation and presentation of your dishes. Think outside the box, because this will set your team apart from your competitors. Many of you have ambitions of going into the field of culinary arts, I'm sure. It must be noted that great chefs have the following attributes: good organizational skills, willingness to accept criticism, this is important, ability to handle high-stress environments, curiosity, and a desire to learn from your mistakes, to learn more from your mistakes. You must also have physical stamina and creativity. Physical stamina is important. Cooking is hard work. So going forward, I want you to make this competition fun, entertaining, and rewarding. However, what you learn from here must be translated into some form of income, meaning that what you learn here, you should be able to make a living from at some point in time. A chef's job is not as glamorous as watching Chef Edie on TV. It's not as glamorous as what you see on the cooking network, on those food networks. It's not that glamorous. I'm not a chef, but I can assure you of that from the little that I've seen. A chef's work requires strength of character, tenacity, and perseverance. And it's important to remember that a chef must have a love for his or her work, because it can be high stress, and it can be a very, very, very challenging job. money, you can have disappointments. I can think of situations where persons in the restaurant, complaining about the food, the taste, and all these other things. You can't let those things get you down. You have to learn from them and move on. You have to show a brave face and realize just do better next time. Of course, people will complain just for complaining, say you must know when to just ignore because you know your worth. So remember that as well. Of course, there are other careers in the culinary arts that can be pursued, and some of these are, but not limited to, a personal chef. I actually have a good friend who would have attended the Alexandra School with me, who is now a personal chef. He tells me to the stars. I don't know who these stars are, but from what I've seen on his Facebook, he's living pretty large, flying in here on a private jet and staying in the nicest hotels. So maybe some stars he's cooking for. But that's a good career path, I think. Food service manager, caterer, food stylist, food scientist, and of course, executive chef. I implore you to find the fit that is best for you. Also note that there are areas where you can become entrepreneurs. The field of culinary arts is dynamic, but you always want to be ahead of the game. And a good place to start, as was mentioned by Mr. Eastman, is the Caribbean Vocational Qualifications, or the CVQs, in food preparation and cookery or commercial food preparation. I also want to take this opportunity to make a plug for my government, my ministry, and by extension my government, by saying that this government is committed to the competency-based qualifications, or the CVQs, because we understand that these qualifications, they have increased the human capacity development in the region, in many of our sister territories, by making more persons competent. The CVQ is a pillar for the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME, as it allows persons with the relevant certification to move between territories within the region. Should anyone here consider emigrating to another territory, or anyone from here consider moving out of Barbados to pursue their career, then this qualification will help in the pursuit of that move, of that upward move. So in closing, I just want to say, the challenge is yours to embrace. All of what is presented to you at this event, at this conference, please make good use of it. Make good use of this opportunity. For many of you, it will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And there are other persons who would never get this opportunity, so consider yourself privileged. The professionals who will present at this conference, they have given their life and their resources to share information related to culinary arts. Embrace it. Embrace it with both arms. If you are not confident in your own skills, your own abilities, you will never be happy or successful. So just remember that going forward. And with those few words, I just want to wish you an enjoyable conference and wish you all the best on behalf of my ministry. Thank you very much.
Turn up the taste. This is a meal prepared with Robert's garlic spread. A zesty spread made with real garlic and parsley with 0 trans fat. Robert's garlic spread. Turn up the taste.
DC Media, the home of culinary excellence. We bring you the best in culinary education, information, and entertainment. Just tune in to a range of programs such as Caribbean Cuisine, all you need to know about what is happening with what we grow and produce in our region. In need of excitement? Join us in the culinary arena for the Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge. Here, the best of our junior culinary minds meet in exciting kitchen duels to determine which island will reign supreme as the Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge champion. In need of some culinary education? Then, be a part of our annual Caribbean Culinary Conference, where top educators from across the world share their knowledge and expertise with our culinarians. Just want a relaxing moment? Then join Chef Edie in his kitchen for a casual meal or an easy-to-digest experience. DC Media, the place for your culinary satisfaction. Now, I hope you were listening very carefully to Dr. Springer. I have been humbled a little bit there as well, because who would have thought that it could have inspired a man that is now a doctor in, was there a doctor in what again? Linguistics, imagine that, right? So, and that's not an easy, that's something I would never even think about studying linguistics. That has to be one of the hardest things in the world to do, So I'm stick to being a chef. Any fool can cook, right? So I hope you listen carefully, though, because as I said, I am very proud of this young man, because and the young people in that party now that are there, and I think that's where we need to look, because I am one who believe in developing young people. That's what I've been doing for the last 13 years. So when I see young people doing really well, it really makes me happy. I get a really heavy feeling when I see that happening. So I hope he's been able to inspire some of you, because I say the team is be inspired. Find your inspiration. And here is hoping that at this conference, some of you might find your inspiration. I know that some have done that before, because when you look at the people who passed through this conference, and now some of them are executive chefs, believe it or not, and some of them represent their country at the highest level as far as competitions and stuff like that. Even in this room, we have one of the Barbados team managers. Now, he just came back from Miami, representing Barbados in the Barbados senior national team. So things like that make me feel very, very proud. So here, I'll be watching you and to see how you progress over the next week. So thank you all for attending. Thanks for being here. And let me get to hear from you. You know us. We here. This is not one of those competitions where you come and you sit and you be quiet. You keep some noise. So where is the Cayman Islands? Cayman? Who is normally the noisiest team here? Who's that? You think about Trinidad? It could be 4 people. And it always sounds like the most people in the room. Trinidad always brings that to this competition. What about Grenada? You're back with us this year? St. Croix made it in as yet? Not as yet. Tonight. They're coming in tonight. St. Croix will be in tonight. St. Lucia. Now, St. Lucia is a team that's one of the teams you have to look at. They are very hard to beat in this competition. There's something about St. Lucia. I really have to go to St. Lucia and just look at the food all over, because these youngsters come up with some fantastic stuff, and every year it's the same thing. So St. Lucia, welcome once again. And I know this time they have one of the noisiest men in the world, Orlando Satchel. He's doing some demonstrations this year as well. So he'll be here doing some demonstrations for you as well. Who did I miss? Dominica! How can I do that? Dominica, you're here with us? Happy and everything? Good. Barbados, we did, yeah? And remember, I always say to you, this is not the conservative Barbados, right? This is the real noisy Barbados. So welcome all of you. Let's hear you all together. The big chair. Let's get going. So the workshops will start after our break, and we'll have some fun. And remember, find your inspiration. So be inspired. Thank you very much. Cjcc Media, the place for your culinary satisfaction.